Hey, you guys. This is Mr. Boaitey, and we're in for another installment of our AVID Fireside Chat. So today we have, and we always have great people, but what's neat about this person is she just graduated from college. And so I really was looking to see that we had some, people who were in college or just
Mhm.
really recently graduated. And so we're grateful to have Cortlynn Allen with us. And so
Hey.
I'm going to let her introduce herself and say a little bit about what she's doing and so forth. And then we'll get into the questions. Okay, Cortland?
Mhm. Hey guys, like you said, I'm Cortlynn Allen. I just graduated from UAPB in May 2021. I majored in industrial technology management and applied engineering, and I'm currently a co-op at L'Oreal working in the performance improvement division.
Oh, that's great. And
Yeah.
I know I was saying to you before earlier that this is L'Oreal when you're on 40 heading to Memphis. You can see it, right? In
Mm-hmm.
North Little Rock, right off
Yep.
the high. Yeah, it's
Yep.
like a,
You can't miss it.
no, you can't. All right. Well, we're gonna start with some of the questions. And so my first question to you is this. If you could give advice to your middle school self, your 12,
Mhm.
13, 14-year-old self, what would it be and why?
If I could give advice to my 12, 13, or 14-year-old self, it would be don't think that you have everything figured out right now or that you have to have everything figured out right now. You're still growing. You're right in between becoming a young adult and you just moved away from what I call the kiddie lane. So you're slowly finding who you are and trying to figure out what it is that you feel your purpose is. Don't feel like you have to have all of the answers right now. Seek guidance from adults. I know this is the time where we feel like we know everything. We don't have to listen to anyone, but that's not the case. Listen to the people around you, listen to the adults around you, take the advice that they give you, and just go forth and do great things.
Hmm, thank you.
Mhm.
So we said at the top that you graduated from college, so we know you went to college. So
Yes.
that's our second question. But let me ask you this as part of that.
Uh-huh.
We know that you went, but can you share why did you go? And then
Mhm.
also to describe the experience and how it impacted your life, who you are and what you're doing today.
Mhm. So I attended an HBCU, which is the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. I always knew that I wanted to attend an HBCU, and I always knew that I wanted to major in a STEM field, which is what I did, industrial technology management and applied engineering. So with that degree, I'm a little bit indecisive. So it ended up working in my favor because I'm able to go into either design, manufacturing, construction, or I can go the electrical route if I wanted to because my degree pulls from all of those different courses and allows us to just kind of be great managers in our fields.
Hmm.
So I feel like UAPB definitely prepared me for what I'm doing now working at L'Oreal because honestly, everything that I saw in the textbooks, I'm seeing now on the production floor. And I feel like it was a great experience and it definitely prepared me for my career right now.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. So you went in, when did you arrive at this, that this was going to be your major or your focus?
Okay, funny story. So I wanted to go to school for architecture. This is why I say don't feel like you have everything figured out right now. I
Yeah.
wanted to go to school for architecture. And then I thought, I don't know if I want to be stuck in that one lane forever. So I met with some people from UAPB, and I also knew of people who had went to UAPB and majored in my program
Mhm.
and they allowed me to kind of explore all of my different options. They explained what type of coursework they took. They explained the different avenues that I would be able to go down, which could be manufacturing or construction. Funny thing is, my emphasis was in construction, but because of all of my background, as far as learning the different courses and everything, I was able to go into this manufacturing co op and know exactly what they were doing. So I didn't feel
Mm.
like I was missing anything. I've had previous internships in construction because I just knew that that would be my sole focus. But when I pivoted to this opportunity, I felt like it worked out perfectly for me.
Mm. That's wonderful. It's interesting. I don't hear a lot of people saying of manufacturing engineering. My father actually got his degree in manufacturing engineering.
Oh,
And
really?
so, like my family's from Ghana, from West Africa, and when he
Mm-hmm.
came to the States, we came by way of Boston, Massachusetts, and he
Mm-hmm.
ended up putting himself to Northeastern University and got that degree. And once he did it, he was interning. I think he did stuff for digital, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
little electronic kind of. And then we moved because of it. His uh, graduate, we moved to upstate New York, and he worked for Xerox. And so
Okay.
it took him literally, and he became like head of supervisory.
Mm-hmm.
When he started his own business, he was vice president up in there. So yeah, it's so interesting because I remember just that field because it was his.
Mm-hmm.
Tweaked it for me because I was like, I don't think I've ever heard of that, So that's
Yeah.
interesting. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you said that you were interested in, you always knew you wanted to have a STEM, be in the STEM field.
Mm-hmm.
Um, can you just share a little bit about how did you always know that? What inspired you, and what is STEM?
Okay, STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that I wanted to go into one of those fields. I can just be blatantly honest right now. They make a lot of money. So I
Right.
knew at first, it's like, I want to make a lot of money to support the lifestyle that I want to
Yeah.
have. But then I started realizing I consider myself to be able to use both my left and right side of my brain. So yes, I understand the mathematics, but I'm also creative. And I knew that in STEM, you need both in order to problem
Yeah.
solve. So
Right.
I knew that I would be okay in whatever field I wanted to go into. But honestly, I wanted the money.
Mhm.
And then it
But
turned out that it turned into my passion.
right. So that
Mm-hmm.
is the blessing right there, that it did
Mm-hmm.
turn, it really was your passion.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's wonderful, because it's true, you wouldn't be able to stick around or be with it if that was your
Mm-mm.
sole right motivation.
No, you would
Yeah,
not, because it's not for the weak. So if you're considering a STEM field, you need to really love what you do, because
right.
enjoying the money, that'll only last for so long.
Mm-hmm. It's rigorous, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You have to always be on your P's and Q's. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have time for slip ups.
Right. So tell me a little bit about your experience at UAPB. What was college life like?
Well, you have your parties, you have your games, you have homecoming, which is a big thing for HBCUs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I felt like being on the yard really allowed me to see a lot of people that looked like me succeeding in life.
Mm.
If you go to other universities, it's not always a lot of people that look like you. Let's just put it
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so to be at UAPB, to have professors that actually care about you and want to see you succeed was everything.
Mm.
Because you don't get that at other places. Sometimes you're just a number. But when
Mm-hmm.
you're there, it feels like home.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's nice. And you're right. That's how it should be, and
Mm-hmm.
that's something to look for when you're getting ready to go to college. So when you visit, that you could get that vibe, that feeling, that
Mm-hmm.
sense, right? I appreciate that. Um,
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
What does success mean to you? And would you call yourself successful? Why or why not?
Success to me is hitting certain milestones. It could be, I plan to exercise 4 times this week. Yes, I maybe did it 3.5, but that's 2 more times than what I did last week. That's success to me.
Mm-hmm.
It could be, I don't know, I have a big project at my job. Maybe yesterday I couldn't figure out one math equation to move the line forward, but today I figured out 3 or 4. And I've also gotten help from my other coworkers in solving the problem. That's success. I don't feel like you have to see success only at the end goal. You just set your certain mile markers and you reach them every single day. So that's how I
Mm-hmm.
feel.
That's wonderful, because in that way, that these little goals, or how we want to put it, that will sustain you, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That keeps you going,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Because if
That's great.
you're waiting for the big thing to happen, sometimes you may feel like you're never making progress.
Right,
So if you
right.
set small goals along the way, you can actually see that you're moving forward.
Absolutely. That's great. And I think when you do that, it does compel that kind of in you to keep
Mhm.
going, right?
Mhm.
This program I'm speaking of is AVID, and AVID, the
Mhm.
acronym is for Advancement via Individual Determination. And
Mhm.
I say this individual determination comes from, that driving you to let you keep going when maybe you face things that are a little hard for you or
Mhm.
difficult, challenging, is when you really look at and take heed to these little successes that you
Yep.
have, right? It keeps you
Mhm.
going. And that makes it your individual determination, right?
Mhm.
That's great. Um, Being college and career ready takes grit, perseverance, persistence, not giving up, and being open to new ideas. How did you develop or cultivate this essential skill?
I feel like my parents helped me a lot
Mm,
with that. They never let me quit whenever I felt like things were too stressful. Of course, you get the help that you need, you seek out other people, but you always stay true to whatever it is that you put your mind to.
mm,
So, a project, I like to paint.
mm,
So, if I couldn't figure out maybe how to make this color work over here, then I want to give up there. Like, no, you need to finish what you started. I
mhm,
didn't play sports, but my siblings did.
mm,
And I saw them sometimes feel as if they just didn't want to play the sport anymore because they didn't want to put in the work.
mm,
And they told them, no, you finish out this season. And then at the end of this season, if you don't want to do it anymore, then you can stop playing the sport. I just feel like even in school, projects were tough. Group projects felt tougher than my own personal projects because you have to work with so many different people. And sometimes you just have to step up and take the lead and say, okay, we're going to rally together. We're going to get these things done. I feel like it's just necessary in life,
mhm,
in your career, especially just in all aspects. Make sure that you put your best foot forward
mhm,
and never quit.
mhm, hmm. I like that too because it is so much, because college coming from high school into college is significant,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard sometimes if you didn't have someone that in your family that went to college first, and even if you
Yeah.
did, to really express what it's like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But we do know that there's certain skills that you need to make it successful, and certainly you can acquire them
Exactly.
at college, like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I remember I don't think I really was didn't have strong note-taking skills prior. And then I think it was
Mm-hmm.
the end of my freshman year. So I'm here, I was like, you do one of these all-nighters, you're like, we gotta get this together. And then all of
Uh-huh.
a sudden, here you go, you know, you meet up with a couple others and you're like, let's do this. You
Mm-hmm.
start creating flashcards, you're going over your notes, you're doing all this stuff. And so and now, we have them even in sixth, seventh, and eighth grade exploring focus notes, just to do those
Okay.
notes and just get a sense of
Mm-hmm.
doing that. And I say that because I say, this is a skill that you would use in college.
Yeah.
So
You don't
just
see the
explain, like,
value of it now.
yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
hard to see that you can step
Mm-hmm.
in knowing how to do this already. You
Mm-hmm.
can follow up on it already, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Was there anything
Yeah.
like that for you? Like when you went into college that you found like either you had those skills prior and you
Mm-hmm.
felt, oh my goodness, I was ready for this, or you
Mm-hmm.
picked them up.
Um, I would say the toughest thing for me was learning how to study because I was always a student that just kind of did well in school just because. But
Mm-hmm.
when I got to college, studying for college courses and studying for high school or middle school courses is a lot different because
Yeah.
your teacher isn't going to tell you everything that's in the book, or they may not tell you everything that's going to be on the test. It's your
Mm-hmm.
responsibility to look through the chapter and make sure that you take the right notes and
Mm-hmm.
also that you study all of the material that's in front of you. At the end of the day, what you learn is basically your responsibility. Your
Mm-hmm.
professor is just there to kind of guide you along to help you figure out what it is that you want to know. But studying for those tests, yeah, that was definitely something that I had to learn how to do.
I appreciate you sharing that, because it is a challenge. The ACT, we talk about that a lot. It's these kind of study techniques and just to kind of minds around that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah. Well, this is actually our last question. Is there anything else you'd like to say to the scholars who will be watching this?
I would say work hard in whatever it is that you do. Make sure that if you go to college or if you don't, if you pick a trade or just go into the workforce, make sure that you succeed. Get all of the help that you need to succeed and always persevere. Even if you feel like you're in a job that you don't like, maybe this is a stepping stone to something that you're truly passionate about. So make sure that you seek out advice again. Listen to those parents. I know that you don't want to right now. Listen to your parents and your teachers because they know more than you. I was that kid at that stage where I just felt like no one could tell me anything. I basically had it all figured out. I didn't need to talk about anything with anybody. Listen to your parents and those around you because they're there to help. Seek out the help if you need it. So that's all I'd say.
Oh, I really appreciate it. This has been wonderful. It really is, because it gives us a almost or more on the ground sense of college and college readiness. And that's so key to just being exposed to that. You know what I mean? Yeah, so thank you so much. Thank you so much. So you guys,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I know you guys, you got a lot if you from Miss Allen. And so definitely, tune in for the next one and we thank her. So thank you so much, Rev.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we wish you all the success.
Thank you. I wish you guys success too.